Good afternoon. My name is Kevin Peters. I'm the Emergency Management Director here in Leon County. This is our press conference on Hurricane Michael. Emergency Management, our partners with the city and the county have been monitoring the situation. We began our activation and coordination with the state, National Weather Service, and our regional counties yesterday morning. Michael appears that it will become a very serious hurricane as we move through the next couple of days. The National Hurricane Center has forecast a Category 3 hurricane, which is 120 miles per hour at landfall in the Florida Panhandle. Locally, we can expect winds to be in the hurricane force range, 6 to 10 inches of rain, and we currently are under a hurricane watch. As this storm approaches our area, we also have an enhanced risk for tornadoes. Our neighbors to the south along the coast also are at risk of life-threatening storm surge. Now is the time to take action, complete your preparedness activities, complete your disaster kits, and if you have the ability to get from the area, going somewhere outside of the cone of uncertainty with the storm path would be a preferred area to move to if you have the capabilities. At this time, I'm going to turn it over to Chairman Nick Maddox of the Leon County Commission for some additional comments on county preparedness activities.
Thank you, Kevin. Earlier today, as chairman of the Board of Leon County Commissioners, I declared a local state of emergency to help our community respond and recover. Our Emergency Operations Center is now fully activated with over 80 people in 25 agencies and organizations. Our dedicated employees and partner agencies are executing their emergency plan as we prepare, respond, and recover from this storm. Throughout the weekend and into this morning, everyone has been working hard to prepare for what has recently become Hurricane Michael. As we have seen over the past 2 years with Hurricane Hermine and Hurricane Irma, Michael will be a powerful storm, possibly a major hurricane. Our region is bracing for dangerous storm surge and hurricane force winds. These high winds could arrive as early as Tuesday evening. And with high damaging winds, our community has our own challenges to deal with. We know just exactly what that means in this community. We have trees that can destroy homes, block roads, and cut off neighborhoods from critical services. At this time, Leon County is issuing a voluntary evacuation for mobile and modular homes starting now. Again, at this time, Leon County is issuing a voluntary evacuation for mobile and modular homes starting now. To assist those who will evacuate, we are opening 5 risk shelters with the American Red Cross, and will open more if needed. At this time, risk shelters will be open Tuesday at noon at Lawton Childs High School, Lincoln High School, Fort Braden Elementary, Sale High School, and Godby High School. Also, Leon County offices will be closed Tuesday at noon and remain closed through Thursday, close of business. Further information on shelter openings and local services will be posted on both Leon County and CF Tallahassee websites. I also encourage those who can in our community to volunteer with the American Red Cross. Contact info is also available on our website. So as we prepare for the worst Michael has to offer, everyone must stay informed in the days ahead. Follow us on social media, listen to WFSU or your local radio station, and check on your neighbors. Again, while our hearts are with our neighbors along with the Gulf Coast, we are here working to be responsive to the needs of our own community. The county is ready, we are focused, and we are prepared. More than anything, we need you. We need you to be prepared and to stay informed. Go to haveahurricaneplan.com to download the county's disaster survival guide and review your own family's checklists and plans. Again, that website is haveahurricaneplan.com. Download Leon County Citizen Connect mobile app to receive push notifications with critical information. And most of all, as I said before, if you have an opportunity and you have materials that you can spare, check on your neighbors. Be a good neighbor to those who are in need, because everyone may not have had the opportunity to get out and get the things they may need. So please be a good neighbor as well. Now I'd like to turn it over to our mayor, Andrew Gillum. Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank all of you. Unfortunately, our community has become all too familiar with this drill, but in some cases, I think it has made us all the more ready for the events that we all are anticipating. This storm is forecast to be a potential Category 3 storm and maybe even more powerful than that. For sake of comparison, for folks in this community, it's important to point out that this storm will be as bad, if not more powerful, than Hurricane Hermine and its impacts. Official forecasts show a sustained wind of 125 miles per hour approaching landfall on Tuesday. Tuesday night with hurricane force sustained winds and the highest gusts as the storm moves in midday on Wednesday. Tropical storm force winds will be felt in this community as early as Tuesday evening. The tropical storm could bring up to 10, this tropical condition and hurricane will bring up to 10 inches of rain, which is likely to cause flash flooding in various parts of our community. I think the message we want to make sure is heard loud and clear is we want to urge safety. Safety of all those in this community and certainly those who are along the coastal area. This is a serious and a life-threatening event. I repeat, it is a serious and life-threatening event for those of us that are in the path and the trajectory of impact. I want to also reemphasize that you are your best first responder. Before any of some of the first responders behind me are able to get to you, you're going to be responsible for making sure that you can keep yourself safe where you are and that you have food and water and also are taking the appropriate and necessary steps to keep yourselves and your families protected. Please, as the chairman encouraged, be in a position to help your neighbors. We earlier today, myself and the city manager hosted a conference call along with other city officials with a number of our neighborhood leaders. It was the first time any of us could recall bringing that group together prior to an anticipated storm's impact. And the message we wanted to share there is that we've got to be there for each other, to take stock of our neighbors, especially our elderly, our seniors who may live alone and may live without the constant support of anyone other than maybe a Meals on Wheels person who might arrive at their homes each day of the week. And so we want our neighbors to be good neighbors. If you are energy dependent, meaning your livelihood and your life, rather, depends on having connectedness to power and to energy, you may want to consider leaving town. You all know, for those of us here in the city of Tallahassee, that we have a significant tree canopy over our community. Almost half this community is covered in trees. With 10 inches of rain and that rain softening the ground and the roots around these big trees, those trees will come down. And those down trees will impact utility poles and utility lines and obviously electric utility. And we will be without power. Stay connected by downloading Digitally app on your social media, via social media, via the city's pages. And I know my colleague elected officials who are here with me, Commissioner Curtis Richardson and Commissioner Scott Maddox, as well as Commissioners Ziffer and Miller, we have all adopted our own form of updating folks via our own social media, but we want to encourage you to please refer to the City of Tallahassee's page for the most updated information as it comes from this government. As I mentioned before, we've spoken to neighborhood leaders as well as those who are a part of our most sensitive and more vulnerable communities, to include the fact that the city manager and I convened the executive director of our nursing homes and our senior support facilities in this community to make sure that they have a direct connection to our utility staff should the need arise during this storm event to have direct communication to us. The city has requested the maximum number of mutual aid support that our system can bear. By comparison, that number means about 6 times the normal utility workers that we have any given day working our system. We have requested be at the ready to initiate our restoration process. That's about anywhere between 500 and 600 additional assets, utility assets in our community. We also plan to embed many of those incoming utility workers inside of our existing electric utility staff and workforce, which will allow them to cover more turf and cover more area, and again, try to get our system and our community back up and going as quickly as possible. There are 4 sandbag locations that are now open. Messer Park, and there is staff at Messer Park assisting anyone who might need assistance. The other 3 locations, you're expected to bring your shovel, and you'll be responsible for getting your own sand and bagging that up. And those parks are Winthrop Park, Jack McLean Park, and the Lawrence Gregory Community Centers. Road clearing crews are also being prepped and pre-staged. It will be most important that we clear roads following this storm event, particularly to our hospitals and any other emergency, in and out of any other emergency response locations. The city is also planning 6 comfort locations. We know that when power is out, we want to make sure that folks are able to get access to necessities that are made available to them, and so we will have 6 comfort stations up and available. Crews are lined up for cut and toss. That's simply moving debris out of the way. It won't be pretty, but it does get our streets cleared so that we can get business up and going and our trucks rolling. We have requested from the Department of Transportation, the State Department of Transportation, generators to assist us at our major intersections. And obviously those will be prioritized based off of the intensity of traffic anticipated at those locations. As we do in any storm event, we encourage people to, if you make the decision to shelter in place, that you remain there until you're giving other instruction by your officials that it is safe to move again. That's one of the reasons why we urge such preparedness, because you may be confined to where you are, wherever you decide to settle and weather out the storm. We will assess the damage after the storm, and work will commence immediately, again, to put this city back on track. At this time, we want to, again, urge safety. We want to, again, urge those individuals who are intent on leaving this community to find safer place to weather this storm, that they begin that preparation soon, as tropical storm force winds will begin being felt in this community as early as tomorrow evening. And with that, I want to welcome forward our Chief Law Enforcement Officer here in Leon County, Sheriff Walt McNeil.
Thank you, Mayor. And before I start my written comments, let me thank the media. One of the most important things that we have to get across to our citizens is being prepared. And you play a vital role in that through your various vehicles that you get the information out, social media, television, radio. That is extremely important to us. So thank you for your role as well. Obviously, I want to thank our law enforcement and first responders, our paramedics, our firefighters. I want the citizens of Leon County to know that we are working together, trying to make sure that our protocols and our response capabilities are all focused on doing everything we can to keep you safe. But as the mayor and as our county commission leader indicated previously, we are also counting on our citizens. We talked about filling the bucket several months ago, and now is the time that we put that in action, making sure that you've got the things to self-sustain your families for the period of time that we could possibly be impacted by this storm. But just like we're asking you to be prepared, my colleagues and first responders, we are prepared. We understand that Hurricane Michael, or Tropical Storm Michael right now, will be a life-threatening storm, and that will potentially have a significant impact on our community here, not only in Leon County, but throughout the entire Big Bend. So again, as Chairman Maddox said, look out for our neighbors, making sure that if they don't have, you can do that now. Start talking with your neighbors to make sure they have the necessary tools to survive this storm. With that in mind, we have also, from a law enforcement perspective, we've increased our number of law enforcement officers. I can tell you the Tallahassee Police Department, Leon County Sheriff's Office, we've all gone to what we call an Alpha Bravo shift. That means that all of our shifts, all of our staff will be working 2 12-hour shifts around the clock, making sure that we have coverage on the streets and throughout the communities of Tallahassee, Leon County. Our first responders, as you perhaps know, face some significant tasks as we go out into the roadways. You all know that we won't be out there when the wind is high. So again, it's important that we take those actions right now to get prepared so that you don't have to put the law enforcement and the first responders in harm's way, because if you're hurting, our anticipation is we want to get there to help you. So let's not create a problem for yourselves and for our first responders. As your sheriff, I can tell you that we are, in our law enforcement and first responders families, we are effectively working together to make sure that we do everything we can to make sure that you're safe and that we're as prepared as you are. And with that, I'd like to invite Kevin Peters, and Kevin's going to share some words about what we're doing in the county.
Okay. And again, to summarize the situation, we are at risk in this part of the state for a major hurricane landfall. Particularly in Leon County, hurricane force winds are possible, 6 to 10 inches of rain. Now is the time for all citizens to complete their preparedness actions. Meet with your family, meet with your friends, review your plan, know what you're going to do, complete your disaster supply kit, and stay informed, both through local media, through our local websites from the city and the county, through our mobile applications, and through our social media presence. And with that, that will complete our press conference this afternoon.